At 3 o'clock. Yes, family. Yeah, so Easy's back to have a important conversation. You know what I mean? That was hilarious. Me and convo with the Hebrews, boy. I had to escape, man. Quick. But now, as it's 2021, we're gonna have a proper conversation, and this conversation is gonna be about health and this virus and everything with it. So I want to take you back for one to microorganisms, yeah, and how we come to now living co-signing with these microorganisms, yeah. So at a period of time around, let's say 6 billion years ago, there was microorganisms that was being created. For example, the Cyanobacteria, you have Archaea, you have viruses as well, yeah. This is all predates human, yeah, hominids and all that. This is what was going on in this earth, yeah, prior to life as we know it today. You see what I'm saying? So this is the origin of seaweed, the origin of trees and plants and all that, yeah. These all coming from microorganisms, yeah. So I just want to take you back there just to have a clearer understanding of what's going on now and how we're going to use these type of microorganisms to fight against this pathogen that we're dealing with now, yeah. Because right now the thing is, I don't really watch too much of the news, so I don't really know what's going on, but what I've heard, that now this corona or SARS-CoV-2 has mutated and evolved. Well, yeah, there's another virus out there, yeah, that's in the same family as COVID or coronavirus, yeah. And this is like more of a lethal virus, yeah. Lethal virus, and it's obviously it's an RNA virus, so it's attacking your respiratory system, yeah. And so we're gonna talk about a little bit about that a little bit more, yeah. So we're dealing with an attack, a new type of attack to your respiratory system. You see it, yeah. So that's the reason why we need to understand these microorganisms, yeah, because we're gonna have to use these microorganisms to fight against this virus, yeah. These microorganisms, yeah, has been on this earth prior to us, yeah. We're talking about 6 billion years ago, yeah, and it creates everything, yeah, and is in practically everything as well. You see what I'm saying? On this earth, yeah. So the seaweed, the plants, they all got a common ancestor to what we know as the microorganisms. You know what I mean? So this is the birth of us. You know, and it's clear today to easily been shown and proved that we still have these microorganisms playing a part up to now in our body. You see what I'm saying? So up to now, from 6 billion years ago, where scientists have found the oldest fossils of this Cyanobacteria and Archaea, we find these organisms in our body, yeah. These organisms are harboring in your colon, yeah, and they help your immune system, yeah. They help your brain function. They help your nervous system. They help even up to the fact that if you was to cut yourself and your healing process where you have scabs growing, this is all done by the microorganisms. You know what I mean? You have microorganisms on your hands. You know what I mean? Around your nose, your mouth, your tongue, your eyes, everywhere, yeah. So we live with these microorganisms. We can't live without them. You see what I'm saying? We get introduced to these microorganisms by our parents, yeah, our mums, yeah. So when you leave the womb, yeah, you get introduced to these microorganisms, yeah. And yeah, and also breastfeeding. These microorganisms make sure that you learn, your brains, helps with your development of your brain and your immune system. That's what the first response you get from the microorganism is the improvement of your brain, your immune systems, and any other stuff that comes with it, yeah. So with this virus, I ain't really too sure what it's called, you know what I mean? But all I know is a new adaptation to this COVID SARS-2, yeah? I heard that it's more lethal and it's more aggressive, yeah? So we need to understand, yeah, when viruses get into cells, yeah, and then they reboot the DNA, yeah, making it create its own versions of the virus inside the cell, yeah. The viruses adapts to the DNA coding, yeah. So the DNA is obviously the deoxyribonucleic acids, yeah. So you have the adenine, you have the guanine, you have the cytosine, and you have the thymine, yeah. In RNA, it's a thymine. It's not thymine, it's uracil, yeah. So in DNA, when viruses attack cells and then reboots within the nucleus, yeah, for the nucleus to produce the versions of the viruses, it adapts to the cell. So when you get affected by the viruses already started mutating and adapting to what you have in your body. So it finds a way to coexist or learn how to avoid organisms that is trying to attack it, like your immune systems. You see what I'm saying? So it finds a way to avoid getting caught by the immunoglobulins, which is like the monocytes and the Dendritic cells and the phagocytes. You see what I'm saying? So viruses learn how to swivel away from the immune system, the T cells and the B cells and everything, yeah. So this is what is happening in our body. This is what's happening in the world. This ain't the first. This don't just occur in our body. This occurs in the ocean. You see what I'm saying? Where majority of these viruses and microorganisms harbors. The harbors in the ocean. You see what I'm saying? The first cyanobacteria has evolved from the photosynthesis with the sun and within the ocean. You see what I'm saying? Because there's a few theory how oxygen has harbored this world. You see what I'm saying? So it's a lot that's going on, yeah. So we need to understand that even up to the oxygen that we're breathing in is being tampered with or is being compromised by these microorganisms, viruses and bacteria, yeah. So it's deep, you know what I mean? So how can we fight against these viruses, yeah? First, we need to understand microorganisms. We need to understand how we can help them fight against these viruses, yeah? Because the microorganisms help the immune system. They are part of the immune system. Remember, because you got the innate immune system, and then you got the adaptive immune system. The first immune system that gets built up, it gets built up from when you leave the womb, and then you breastfeed. Yeah, that's the first immune system that get built. Yeah, and these are obviously coinciding with the microorganisms that you get from your mum. Yeah, so knowing that, we need to understand a little bit more about bacteria and probiotics and prebiotics, yeah? Obviously, the probiotics is feeding your body these microorganisms, and the prebiotics is feeding them. You see what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? Feeding them, because these are like life creatures that harbor and live inside you, yeah? There's a estimate of 37.2 trillion cells, yeah? And these bacterias doubles that. I won't even double that, 10 times more of that. You see what I'm saying? So what you consider you as an individual and as consciousness, yeah, might not actually be you. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So what separates us as individuals, yeah, is that 1% or 10%, which is our cells, yeah, that makes us unique, yeah. But everything else that's in our body is practically the same, because it's microorganisms bacteria and viruses that harbors our body. You see what I'm saying? And another thing is, yeah, that example, yeah, of how consciousness might be contributed to these microorganisms is the fact that even up to serotonin, dopamine, which is certain hormones of happiness and feeling expressions that we will get, it derives from your colon. Yeah, 95% of serotonin derives in the colon. 50% of dopamine relies in the colon. Yeah, so these are the hormones that make you feel happy and get you away from depression and stress. Yeah, this has to do with the microorganisms. So you can actually feed these microorganisms, and it can make you. It can feed you. It can feed your brain, even up to neurons. Neurons harbors within your microorganisms, and the colon, within the colon. Yeah, and you need to understand, these signals get sent from the colon to your brain. Serotonin gets sent from your colon to your brain. Dopamine gets sent from your colon to your brain. Yeah, these are what you consider as consciousness. So consciousness is a deep thing. You know what I mean? What you might consider as consciousness and you thinking could actually be your microorganisms playing their part. You see what I'm saying? So it's deep to understand. You see what I'm saying? Because even up to stress, feeling like another thing as well, we need to understand. Yeah, taking you back to our first microorganism that has been discovered, which is Cyanobacteria. Yeah, and the first form of photosynthesis. Yeah, that was form that later on formed oxygen. Yeah, on this earth. Yeah, we need to understand that now we're looking at photosynthesis. What happens with photosynthesis? Photosynthesis is where microorganisms or any type of organisms is getting nutrients and life from the sun. Yeah. So we as light beings, as in melanated people, our nutrients is vitamin D. It's the sun. It's being out there. You see what I'm saying? As dark carbon melanated people, yeah, our source, yeah, is from the sun. We can photosynthesize from the sun. We can gain nutrients and vitamins from being out and interacting with the sun. Yeah, so that's a form of photosynthesis. You see what I'm saying? It ain't life sustaining, but we can live. But even up to our vital like neuron transmitters can be produced from being outside in the sun. You see what I'm saying? We're talking about neurons, the way we think, depression. We're talking about hormones. All can be compromised through the lack of sun or through the sun, basically. Yeah, I'm trying to just give you the understanding of how Earth interacts with life and how we have to interact with these organisms that predate us, and use these organisms and these nature, which is the sun, as an advantage to fight against what we're fighting against today. Viruses ain't nothing new. You know what I mean? Like, we've been living with them and we've been fighting against them. That's the thing. Another thing as well, yeah, is like people like the understanding of life, yeah. Understanding of life. Everything in life, yeah, is either trying to kill to survive, or have a life sustaining with photosynthesis with the sun, yeah. So whoever can't live with the sun alone has to kill or fight some other type of microorganisms or nature to survive. This earth is not for us to stay permanently. You see what I'm saying? So every type of animal, microorganisms, plants life to seaweed, they have an expiry date. You see what I'm saying? And we're all trying to stay on this earth. You see what I'm saying? So it's a fight, it's a battle. You know what I mean? So we need to understand how we can fight together with nature and with these organisms, yeah, that live within inside of us and live with us to overcome these into these life pandemics and all these stuff that's trying to kill us. You know what I mean? Because viruses can't live without cells. You see what I'm saying? So viruses are trying to live. You know what I mean? We're introduced to a new virus that is trying to live, and it's gonna mutate, and it's gonna go through dormant, and it's gonna figure out how to live with inside you or with inside cells. You see what I'm saying? So it's a deep thing. So what I'm gonna talk to you and the people that's listening about is how can we utilize nature and these microorganisms to fight against these viruses, yeah? You know what I mean? And how we can use viruses to fight against viruses. You see what I'm saying? Bacteria have to fight against bacteria, yeah? And how not to weaken your immune system. Because now the government, yeah, it's crazy now. We're going to go through another lockdown, yeah? A lockdown in the winter. You know what I mean? We know, yeah, that viruses, microorganisms, they harbour and survive stronger and larger within cold environments. You see what I'm saying? We know that the vitamin D, the sun, yeah, eradicates them, yeah. So now we're gonna be going through, yeah, a period where we're gonna be in lockdown. We've been told that we shouldn't go outside to get fresh air. We're wearing masks on our faces, yeah. So now we're increasing our carbon dioxide and decreasing our oxygen, yeah. And we're not getting no sun. It's winter right now. We're not even allowed to go outside, yeah. And we're using antibiotics, hand soaps. We're eating junk, yeah. I'm talking about us as a people, yeah. We're eating junk, we're staying at home, we're not being active, we're not doing no exercise. We're going to get deep into depression because we're not getting enough sunlight. We're going through a lot of stuff that's going to help weaken our immune system, yeah. And another thing as well, I'm going to talk to them in the African race or the African people ethnic group as we speak today, yeah. I'm gonna talk a little bit more about them, yeah, because now we need to understand a little bit more of our biology. Our biology is different, yeah. It's different in many ways. I'm gonna give you a few examples, yeah. Even up to our melanin itself. There's pheomelanin, there's uromelanin, melanin, and there's pheo and neuro and neuro, pheno, and euro, yeah, melanin, yeah. So there's 3 different types of melanin out here, yeah. So do your research and you'll find out how that coexists with our ethnic group, yeah. Now, with our biology, yeah, I'm talking about genetics. I'm talking about cells, yeah. Within our cells, we have a different type of cell structure, yeah. So even when I break down how, like, for example, the epithelial cell, yeah, has the cell membrane, the nucleus, the endoplasmic reticulum, the Golgi apparatus. We got the ACE2 receptors, the transmembrane protease serine 2 receptors, yeah, in a cell. All of that is fine and dandy. Everyone has that, yeah. But the way that the cell is constructed, it would be a little bit different in our biology of ethnic groups, yeah. For example, the African constructed cell, yeah, especially when it comes to these receptors, yeah, are different, yeah. You'll find out, yeah, that the European and the Asiatics, yeah, they have more receptors than us, yeah. And I must give a shout out, yeah, because the thing is, I do my own research, but I have to salute a lot of platforms that I do watch, and I do fact checks, and I come up with my own conclusion of it. Yeah, so I have to big up Cyanobacteria TV and all them scientists. Yeah, or the guys that teach the science. Yeah, I salute them. Like, so Cyanobacteria TV, man them like Ngozi, man them like Mr. Inky, man them like Alid Muhammad, man them like Brother Polite. Yeah, but through watching them, and they're showing me some heads up on a lot of information, yeah, and me doing my research, yeah, we need to understand that when we think we can look at everyone's biology and think we can run certain nutrients or certain food, and we think it's all going to affect us the same way, we'll be wrong. You see what I'm saying? Because even up to our cells are constructed different, yeah? The way that we utilize our food in our digestive system could be constructed different, just through the fact that we need more UV rays from the sun. You see what I'm saying? We need more. Like, it's nothing new, yeah? Where Europeans and Asiatics might go out for the sun for half an hour to get the vitamin D content that they would need to be non-vitamin D deficient, we would have to be spending more of like within an hour outside. You see what I'm saying? So it's a difference there, even up to our bone structure, our you know what I mean, even up to the, well, like even up to the fact that they have Neanderthal genetics within them, yeah, that makes them vulnerable, yeah, and more susceptible to the virus than us. That's a fact, yeah. The Neanderthal genetics compromise their immune system, yeah. So do your research if you don't want to listen to what I'm saying, but that's a fact, yeah. So another differentiation between Asiatics and Africans and the Asiatics. Yeah, the Asiatics, the European and the Africans, yeah? I'm going to show you a little something, yeah? Because this is where I'm going to just be showing you some information. Yeah? I'll give you the sources a little bit later or something. Or I might do another thing on my, I'm giving out a lot of information now that I might. So, we're going to be looking at, oh, if this thing bloody loads up. Why is it not loading up? So I don't know why it's not loading up. What's going on here? No, it's not trying to load up. Let me see. Go to my hotspot. I go to bloody hotspot, broski. Mad. So on this, I'm going to have to show you. Mate, you know what? Alright, ready. So, well, I'm just gonna break it down, yeah, because somehow this is all playing up. I don't know why the screen's all playing up, yeah. But this is where, yeah, I might even do it for my YouTube channel anyway, yeah, because I don't want to give out a lot of information. I want to make a video out of it because this is a deep conversation that I want to go into, yeah. But my main point, yeah, just to give you a heads up on what I'm going to be speaking about, yeah, is that the construction of a cell, yeah, within Africans and the European and the Asiatics are different, yeah. There's research and there's sources that show the differentiation of the cells, yeah. The ACE2 receptors, yeah, we have low of, and transmembrane proteins, serine 2, we have low of, yeah. So these are receptors. Receptors, yeah, is what the virus can attach to get in within a cell, yeah. So the European and the Asiatics has more of these receptors on the cell membrane. They have more, yeah. While the African does, the African has less, yeah, and next to none. Not next to none, because remember the receptors are used for consuming nutrients, yeah. So the cell needs receptors to consume nutrients and to bring in amino acids and nutrients and elements and minerals and water within a cell. Yeah, so we all got receptors, but the African cell, has less ACE2 receptors and less transmembrane protease serine 2 receptors. That means that the virus will find it hard to attach to an epithelial cell. It finds it hard. But remember, this could be due to the fact, I'm just going to say it could be, because what I'm going to do on my channel is going to break down all the information, show all the sources, So what I'm trying to say, this is due to the fact, that in Africa, we are, or in the West Indies, where we are in abundance of vitamin D, So in vitamin D, it produces a lot of fighting antiviral substance for your cells to for your cells to fight against these viruses, or help the immune system detect them and fight against them. This is what the vitamin D is good for, and it's used for. That's why you have a low content of cases in Africa and in the West Indies. You'll find that the death rate and the cases are very low. It's because, for one, the cell structure and the ACE2 receptor and the the TMPRSS2 are very low in the African descent people. So, and that's due to the fact that they get a lot of sunlight. They get vitamin D. You see what I'm saying? So, it's a lot. So now we need to look at our biology and how our cells and how our immune system works with our cells and works to fight against these viruses. We need to utilize certain nutrients that, for one, is indigenous to certain landmass. So, like, even up to the content of Belgian cherries, having a high content of vitamin C, in the world, a cherry, and then the fact that you have different herbs, like elderberry, that have cerasee, the bitters that detox and get rid of waste and insects that are, you will find it harboring in the hot countries. We need to start utilizing those type of foods. You see what I'm saying? What I'm trying to say is, as African people, we need to start looking after our diet and start utilizing West Indian or hot climate food, herbs, and microorganisms to fight against what we're going through in these cold climates. Our climate and how we're living is gonna affect how we fight against this virus. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. I kind of went off on one. So I don't know. It's deep. It's definitely deep. I feel I might need to do a part 2 or something on this conversation. But we definitely need to look at our microorganisms. How we look at them is understanding fermented food, and understanding prebiotics. Prebiotic, you can get it from green bananas. Fermented food, you can get it from raisins and dried fruit. You can get probiotics from fermented teas like kombucha, and other stuff like that. And one of the main thing is that you have to get out. This lockdown thing is no joke. You know what I mean? Staying at the house, it's not gonna abuse your immune system. It's gonna push everything down. You're gonna be in depression. You're gonna lack vitamin D, so you're gonna be vitamin D deficient. You're gonna be it's just gonna be more of a depression for you. So you need to get out, try to get out when the sun is out. As you can see, I'm out here as much, you know what I mean? And yeah, try to get out here, get the air, get the oxygen, and then basically, yeah, man, stay fit, eat the right food, make sure you feed your microbiome, yeah, which is the microorganism that's going to help you fight against these viruses. And I think I need to do a part 2 because I kind of just swerved off on one, and a lot of information ain't been said, yeah. So I'll get my head right and I'll probably speak to you guys more, yeah. But yeah, this is just what's going through my head, you know what I mean? Because we're doing a lot of stuff that don't make sense to science, yeah. We're listening to this government, the government telling us to stay at home, wear this mask, get away from the sun, eat all this bullshit food, wash our hands with antibiotics. That's gonna, they are setting us up, yeah, for destruction. And now they're gonna bring us a vaccine, yeah, that they've done their study on their biology and understand that their biology. Because remember, if Africans' structural cell biology is different to the Asiatics and the Europeans, who do you think they're making the vaccines for? You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And knowing that our cells would react, our immune system are gonna be reacting more different than the Neanderthal genetics in their DNA and everything. Who do you think they're gonna create the vaccine for? We need to go back to nature. We need to just start understanding our herbs, our fungi, our algae, and nature, yeah, and then we can go more and we can move forward to that, yeah. But yeah, this is the end anyway, man. I'm definitely gonna have another chat back, but boy, peace out, yeah.